And you all be safe. I'm gonna try not to shit my pants on the way home if that happens again. Okay, so what up to my Ducati lovers and motorcycle lovers in general? I hope you can understand me. I do have a little miniature mic, a Sony mic tucked in my helmet for you. Look at this sunset. It is January the 6th. It's a Sunday. It is winter time, and yes, it is cold. I live in the state of Pennsylvania. For those of you who are not aware, this is Laser Focused. My name is Misty, and one thing I haven't done yet is, starting this new channel is to actually officially welcome you to my Ducati. This is my 2013 Ducati 796 Monster. So let's just do a quick walk around. I'll try not to fall on my butt. I am watching on this thing, which is like genius. Thank you, Mom. So as you can tell, there are a few modifications to this as compared to the standard Ducati that you would have, if you were to purchase this model. And again, you can see there's the 796. It does come with security, does come with ABS brakes, which we'll get into in a second here. I'm going to try and take you up to a lakeside that I think is beautiful. Hopefully it won't be dark like it was the last time, but I think it's going to be. But let's just do a quick review of what I have that are add-ons to this bike that make it so super duper special and it's just a blast to ride. I mean, this thing is a beast, a monster. I call my Buell a beast. This one's a monster. So starting with this little windscreen, they call a little brass screen, really doesn't protect you that much at all, but it does look good. So starting with the front end here, that's one thing that was changed. Also, the levers were changed. This you can literally, hopefully you can see me do this. You can one finger this clutch. That sounds really sexual, and I didn't mean it to sound that way. But my point is, I really don't need a shift assist on this bike because I have so much fun on it. I have N-bar mirrors, Rizomo grips, N-bar mirrors that you can see here. Very different from the mirrors that were originally installed right here. I have frame sliders. Of course, you always need one of these babies to charge your battery. I gotta fix that then. Clip-ons for, this is MC Moto, I think Moto parts, just clip-ons for the pegs. They're red to match the bike. And what I love the most is the back end of this bike. First of all, this is really unique. These, your passenger, if you had one, which I would not have one on this bike. As you can see, you only have one seat on this, but I believe you could put one on here if you wanted to. Your passenger could hold on here. You do have passenger foot pegs, so I think if I unlock this and took this off, this cowl seat thingy, I could very easily put a passenger on. Do I want to? Absolutely not. And speaking of which, while we're looking, I don't know if you can see it, the beautiful red stitching in the seat. The ergonomics of this bike are super comfortable. The seat is super comfortable. How you sit on it is comfortable, and particularly designed right here for your legs. They just, you're like one with the bike. So, the red tubing trellis on the bike is incredible. And by the way, the gas tank, this goes to the lower center of gravity that both Buell and Ducati are working on. The gas tank is actually, even though you fill it here, this is not the gas tank. It's all down in the body. This is actually the airbox. So the induction goes here. And again, it's a 796cc. Technically an 803cc. It's got Diablo Corso 2 Pirelli tires on it. Incredible. It has, of course, as you can see here, maybe you can't, I'm not sure, Brembo brakes. And what I was getting to in the back here, these are not the original exhaust pipes. I have all the original stuff, but this is GPR exhaust. They scratched pretty easily though, that's the only thing. Everything's matte paint on here and you have to be very careful. Black powder coat wheels. And in the back, the tail of this is not the tail that came with the bike. So a tail tidy kit was used along with integrated turn signals. Let's see if I can turn this baby on. Alright, so this indicates to you, this yellow light indicates to you that I do have ABS. On this side you have modes. They're not like rain mode, dynamic pro, dynamic or race mode or road mode. They have more to do with track modes. So I don't know too much about them. But anyway, so the guy that owned this before I did put these incredible taillights, I think they're LED taillights, in, and they have integrated turn signals. So if you watch, sorry about that. For example, here we go. So I have the right turn signal on. So basically it was just this, but then Pennsylvania came along and said, no, you have to also have the turn signal going on the sides. So I just got my bike back from the shop. They added the original, I think these might be MC Moto parts. I'm not sure. Sorry, this is really making me itch. But it still looks cool. It still looks incredible, but it's a nice tail tidy. I love it. It doesn't stick all the way out to here. You got a 180 tire in the back. You are chain driven. It is an L twin, not a V twin, so it's longitudinal. Has to do with the degrees and how they're not set up this way. Yeah, I'm not a mechanic, but I do. Holy cow. Let's get this baby started. Let's get going. There we go. It's a cold start day, so that doesn't surprise me. Sorry about that, baby. Sorry about that, my Duke. Let's go for a ride, shall we? I hope you can hear me okay. I do apologize if either the sound or the video is compromised in any way. Whew, it is cold. Good thing I have my heated gloves. I am gonna just kind of warn you ahead of time, as I did in my other video. These are my heated gloves, by the way. I don't know if you can see them. Gotta have heated gear in this time of year. What you're gonna see on the roads, I won't be able to lean as much as I normally do. This is kind of like something I prefaced earlier in my other video, because very simply, there's too much gravel on the road in the middle of the winter. There are deer all over the place, so yeah. So I can't go too fast and I can't lean too much. I know where the gravel is. Like, for example, I know there's gravel here. So I go on this side. And my tires are still cold. That's another thing I noticed with winter riding. Either with my Buell, my 1203cc Lightning, or my Ducati 796 Monster. In either case, what I found is that if I take the bike out too soon, like I just did pretty much, what you're gonna find is that the tires are gonna slide, because the ground is freezing cold. So the road is frozen basically. I'm in like probably 35 degree weather right now. Of course, on a motorcycle you can take about 20 degrees off of that. So yeah, a lot of people think I'm crazy. A lot of people that know me think I'm crazy. I hope this windscreen is working on the microphone. But I also wanted to kind of give you a heads up that I have like a hood on that wraps around my face. So if it sounds like I'm muffled, it's because I look like a bank robber. You have to do that if you want to be a winter rider here in Pennsylvania, baby. And I've chosen to do that this year. I'm going to try not to hit any deer and not to slide with the gravel. I do have a lot of twisties, a lot of hills. But anyway, let's get started with this bike. That's a beautiful sunset there. There, I gave you guys I'll try to sit up a little bit so you can see it. Speaking of, let's start with this bike in the seating position. So this is a naked bike. This is a sport naked bike. I love it. Love it, love it. It is my, I guess, second favorite bike ever that I've owned. And, ooh, dude. That's probably just because I got it second. You know, if I got it before I got my Buell, I probably would have been, you know, really I love them both pretty much equally. It's just that I have, I'm pretty much a Buell girl that turned into a Ducati girl. I was a little afraid to ride this at first because I'm 5'7". This is 31.5 inches off the ground. For you ladies out there or shorter guys, don't be afraid. Can I flat foot it? No, not really. I can get at least quarter to a half or 3/4 to a half of my foot on the ground. So basically the balls of my feet, but I feel comfortable. I don't feel like I'm gonna tip. This bike's ergonomics is so good. Like I said, the gas tank is not where you would normally put it. So you have lower weight distribution, which means you have a better center of gravity. You see how easy it is to shift there? I have to be careful because I can't really see deer just suddenly jump out. But you can see there that I really don't need a Shift Assist Pro or any of that, and I'll get into that in a little bit. But I just wanted to say I don't need any of that, even though I drool over that with the BMW S1000R and all of the intricacies of that bike, and the fact that, you know, I looked at this bike and looked at that bike and went, wow, I really want that bike. And then I rode this bike home from the shop and I'm like, what am I, crazy? I love my bike. I love my Ducati 796 Monster. Why do I love it? Well, first of all, it rides like a dream. See how, you know, the ergonomics, you use your hips. You just flick with your hips and it goes where you want it to go. It's a little bit heavier in that sense than my Buell, so my Buell is a little bit more agile. My Buell also has definitely more cc's to it, obviously, so it's got more engine to it, but I believe it's lighter. This is the ABS version, so it's approximately 414 pounds wet. Still a light bike for that, so kudos to them. The Brembo brakes, I have to say, another thing I love about the bike is the monoblock Brembo brakes are phenomenal. The only thing I can say that's negative about the braking system here is that I have had to replace the back brake once in the last year and a half, and I feel like the back brake is starting to get a little sluggish again, a little soft. But I just had my front brake bled again, so I'm trying to get to my destination for you. I also have to watch for cops, deer, gravel, all kinds of fun stuff, all in 30-degree weather, all for you guys, man. Okay, that's not entirely true. This gives me an excuse to ride. In terms of fuel economy, I'm going to say this gets about 35 miles to the gallon. There's like 3.5 gallons of gas in here. Without reading the specific specs on that, I can tell you there's listen to that. The fork in the front is about 24 degrees rake, and it's inverted. It's an inverted fork, 24 degrees rake, and L-twin engine. It is air-cooled, not liquid-cooled. The new ones, I can tell you that the 802 or something like that, I don't know, monsters, they are now liquid-cooled, which, you know, that's great because this bike does get hot. In the summertime when you're sitting, your legs are going to burn a little bit, but not much. I mean, you know, suck it up, buttercup, it's fine. This is coming from a girl who probably sounds like a boy, because when I talk about motorcycles, all of a sudden I go into this like totally tomboy. Motorcycles and drums. I'm also a drummer, so yeah. I talk about them and all of a sudden my voice changes. I don't know why. I grew up with a lot of brothers and none of them ride motorcycles, but one of them was big time into sport racing cars, basically. So that turned me on to speed and race bikes, and then I got into motorcycles. Yeah, so never thought that I'd have this dream bike of a Ducati monster. I mean, Ducatis, they're Italian-made bikes. They're just really well-designed bikes in terms of the ergonomics. Fantastic. If I want to sit back like this and take some pressure off of my wrists, I can. If I want to tuck under because it's cold and turn it into like a super sport, see that? You can do that as well. It's really totally dependent upon, you know, how you want to ride, and that's what I love about it. You have the best of both worlds with the Ducati Monster. The torque is incredible. I want to say it's 84 or 89 foot-pounds of torque. Could be wrong there. I'd have to check that out as well. I need to look at my specs again. It's, you know, my brain, as I'm getting older, my brain is just going, stop putting stuff in me. I worked until about 11 o'clock last night. So on a Saturday, you know, I thought I was going to have time to do a lot of stuff yesterday, but I didn't. So I was going to try to do a demo ride for you guys on a V-Rod today, but unfortunately it got too late, so I couldn't run over to Classic Harley. But if you are in the Pennsylvania area, and if you're, you know, familiar with Classic Harley Davidson, they are wonderful. They will let you test ride. You just got to ask them. You know, I went to one place that I've never been to before, not since it changed name anyway. And I just asked them if I could test ride a used, it was a Yamaha Z1000. So it wasn't an MT10, it wasn't the brand new one. They don't let you test their brand new bikes. They didn't have a demo bike. This is a metal bridge, by the way. For those of you who are beginner riders, if you don't know about metal bridges in the cold, and a motorcycle in general, just be very careful, because these bridges, they're like ice. It's like ice skating over them sometimes. Sometimes they're fine, and then other times not so much. I was really hoping to catch this sunset over the water up here, but looks like I'm going to end up with pretty much not that kind of footage. This is this icy. Actually, my bike is handling it well. I have to tell you, Diablo Rosso Corso 2 tires, phenomenal grippage on the road. I mean, they are just really good street tires. I can't speak for the track. I am trying to save up some money to go to Millville, New Jersey, California Superbike Racing School is going to be there May 14th, I think May 14th, 15th, and 16th of this year, 2019. And that'll be my first time ever. If I do that, that'll be my first time ever on a track. So I'll really get to learn how to, because I already do shift my weight. I already do kind of turn my leg out when I'm turning, and you know, I understand counter steering. Obviously, I've been riding for about more than 15 years, probably 17 years, and I still consider myself learning every day. Every day you're learning on a bike. So the one thing I'd like to do is be able to get my knee down and puck that baby on a turn on a racetrack. Here you can't do that. You got too much gravel. You'll kill yourself, ruin your bike, whatever. As it is, this is a deer danger zone, but I really wanted you guys to see this. I don't know if you're going to get to see it, but I also want to talk about my bike. So let's go back to the bike. This baby loves to hover around 6,000 RPMs. I would say usually by about 9,000 RPMs it wants you to shift for sure. But the cool thing about it is, like, if I'm in third gear doing, you know, 65, 70 miles an hour, and I all of a sudden have to slow down and I forget to shift, see that? Like right there. It's okay, because this thing has such low bottom torque, and it's just so adjustable, so rider friendly, that it's not going to buck me, it's not going to give me a problem. It can go and it can ride in pretty much any, I mean, obviously it can't start in 6th gear, but you know, that's just one thing about it, that torque. And listen to the pops and gurgles on that pipe. The pipe is just beastly, and the original pipe, from what I understand, is the same way too. I have it in my shed. I don't, I didn't get rid of any of that stuff the guy gave me. Sorry if you're hearing a lot of wind noise. I do have a windscreen protector on this mic, and it is in my helmet. However, it's pretty darn windy out right now. We are getting to our spot here, so hopefully you'll be able to see some beautiful scenery. It's Blue Marsh Lake, and it's just, it's just a gorgeous section of it. I really like it. I wanted to get here earlier because the sun was so beautiful, even though it's cold and windy. You can see the flag flying around there. So we talked about the ergonomics, we talked about the torque, and again, this is really actually an 803cc engine, but they call it a 796 monster. There's a 696, but there is a difference between the two. From what I'm told, I've never been on the 696, but people very quickly wanted to go up to the 796 because really, like I said, it's pretty much like an 803. Hey, I have the place to myself. I won't stay here long because I really don't feel like having a serial killer murder me. Yeah, I'm an investigator, can you tell? So yeah, I just kind of wanted to show you guys this beautiful scenery. Let me go around here again because I want to see what the best spot is. I love this little track here. This little track is so cool. And this shows you slow speed turning, phenomenal. No issues, no problems. It's just phenomenal. Just like my Buell, responds very well. And that's something I have a problem with some of the double RRs out there, because they don't like this type of urban driving, and that's what I do, is urban driving. So, all right, I'm just gonna actually do this, so I won't even pull into a parking space. But so anyway, this is where two sides of the Blue Marsh Lake converge, and I just think it looks beautiful. I really do. I think it looks, and like I said, I don't know what you can see, but there's the sunset. Yeah. So, I mean, you can't beat this in the winter on a Ducati Monster. Hopefully you haven't been able to see my speed. Let me take you this way, because there's where the sunset is. Check my mirrors, make sure there's no crazy people. Real quick, just show you the sunset. How do you like it? Pretty cool, huh? Pretty cool. All right, that is gorgeous. Listen to this beast, man. I should say monster. Okay, well, not to cut your beautiful view short, but I better get out of here because there was actually somebody killed up here. And if you've ever known of Redner's Warehouse Markets, Gary Redner was actually murdered walking back from Ganley's that we just passed to his house that we also just passed. He was murdered, beaten to death in the front of his home. So, yeah. And this is a nice area. This is a really nice area. Very tough turn here because you can't see squat. Oh, this guy's going in to look. I'm so glad I went in before he did. So if you have any questions about the Ducati Monster, one of my favorite things is where my legs tuck in. As I showed you before I got in the bike, there's an indentation for where your legs go, so that when you are leaning, you're holding on. For those of you who don't know much about naked bikes or sport bikes in general, please don't call them crotch rockets, or I'd love to kick you in the crotch if you call them that. I really hate that. Such an insult. There's sport bikes, super sport bikes, and super naked bikes. Street fighters. Okay, now that I got that out of my way. Off to the right, you're going to see the bar where I was just telling you Gary Redner's had started to walk home. And I'll show you where his house is, where it is still an unsolved murder, by the way. So if you know anything about it, I think they have $100,000 putting my beams on now, because now we are getting into serious deer time. So his house, he walked right up to that house right there that's lit up, and was beaten to death on his front guy's front yard, between his yard and his neighbor's yard, and their house is for sale. That was a while ago though. But anyway, so do I think you should buy a Ducati 796 Monster if you are in the market for a street fighter, a super naked, or a naked bike in general? Absolutely. I mean, is it good for a newbie rider? I can't really say yes to that, but I can't say no either, because every newbie rider is different. What kind of experience did you have before you started riding on the street? You know, if you were tooling around on a dirt bike and you're pretty agile on it, then yeah, I mean, I think you'll be fine. On my Buell, no, I don't recommend that, and I think I said that in the channel. I really don't recommend that for newbie riders because, you know, just in general, that bike has so much power and it's underestimated. Eric Buell, EBR Racing, is now back. They went out of business with Harley Davidson, and then he came back as EBR Racing, Hero EBR Racing, and now I just found out from 650 Eve's channel. Thumbs up to 650 Eve, by the way. I am so excited that you are a Buell lover just like I am. I was like, he got to meet Eric Buell. I mean, how cool is that? 650 Eve's channel, by the way, I'll put a link to his channel here. I hope he doesn't mind. I just love the guy. I think he's awesome. I also love Duca DC. Duca DC, thumbs up to you, buddy. You actually had me go to LA Moto. You don't even know me, but when you first got your Aprilia Tuono, or when you test rode the first one, you gave a shout out to LA Moto. So I actually, when I was on vacation a couple months ago, I went there, and they wanted me to test ride. Unfortunately, I didn't have any of my gear, and we were kind of in a hurry. The place was closing, and so we had somewhere else we had to go. But anyway, I definitely wanted to ride it. I got to sit on it, start it. I wasn't impressed with the pipe. Duca DC, I'm curious what you think, although I'm sure you won't ever go on this channel. Well, who knows? It's brand new. This channel is brand new, so it's brand new to this particular group of subscribers, this particular population of motovloggers and motorcyclists. I have another channel too for ASMR, and you know, I haven't even been paying attention to that one, but that one's slowly getting off the ground. This is a brand spanking new channel, so I would love to hear from, because I'm not far from Duca DC. Dude, if you ever want to go riding, I know I'm a girl, but I don't ride like a girl. I ride like, how can you say it? I ride like a hooligan. I'm a little hooligan, and I have to be very careful because, again, I'm riding with gravel on the ground. I'm riding with deer because it's deer season. There's the prison to your right, and to the right we have your prison. Okay, I'm going to slow down. By the grace of God, I haven't hit a deer. But anyway, so if you have any questions about this bike, please comment below. Please click like and subscribe if you like this video or my other video. I am beginning to build this channel, and believe me, I have a lot in store for it. Much like, you know, 650 Eve and Jaret Campisi, who also lives, well, he used to live about an hour from me, and I used to be up in that area all the time. And I thought, oh wow, I could ride with Teens and Jared and Dato and his wife, and you know, because I was up in the Harrisburg, Mechanicsburg area a lot. I still am for my job. And then they moved to Santa Barbara. Boo! I am happy for them though. Take a look at his channel. I'll try to link his channel as well. If you would like to win the X Diavel S, like I would love to win it. Oh baby, the X Diavel S. Talk about a dream bike. Anyway, that is a Ducati, of course. I'm a Ducati Buell girl, but I'm also becoming a BMW girl. But basically, I'm a Buell EBR Ducati girl. currently I am looking at trying to test ride the EBR 1190 SX, which is the Super Naked. That, by the way, beat Super Duke, beat the S1000R in SmackDowns. 650 Eve actually has the RX version, which is the track version. And he took it to the California Superbike Racing School that I am trying to save up money for the month of May in Millville, New Jersey. So maybe I'll take this Ducati, I'm not really sure, or maybe I'll use one of their bikes just to test it out. But yeah, so this is my Ducati, baby. This is what makes me a Ducati girl, a naked bike girl. I am not naked on my bikes. It has to do with the fact that they're naked bikes. So, and if you're new to the motorcycle world, naked bike just refers to the fact that it doesn't have any fairing covering a lot of the, like the whole engine area where you would see that in a Super Sport, an RR type bike. This just shifts so smoothly. It rides smoothly, it turns smoothly, slow turns. It loves to lean. I love to lean it. I love to lean in the twisties. I can't wait until the roads get even better, although I have to say I have been blessed with pretty good weather and decent roads thus far. Now I'm paying attention, and this is what you should do also for this winter. If you are a winter rider, this is my first winter. I'm trying to ride through the winter. I won't ride in rain, ice, or snow, obviously. But you need to really kind of do test runs on these roads before you're actually riding on them. Like, just kind of go slow at first, because you get to know where the real slippery areas are, where deer might be hanging out, where the gravel is really bad. Yeah, so anyway, arms are getting a little cold. My hands, nope, that's amazing. I mean, they're a little cold, but not much. I mean, these heated gloves were such a great idea from my husband. Yup, see the deer? Did you see that? Yeah, thank you, God. I'm so thankful that I did not hit that deer, and I'm so thankful there were not more. But that'll give you an example of what I'm talking about. We have much different things to deal with here in Pennsylvania. We've got to be tougher riders, and we have to be Christians. And, well, I have to be. I am a Christian. So I thank God for keeping me safe. And you all be safe. I'm going to try not to shit my pants on the way home if that happens again. God saved me multiple times. Anyway, in spite of the ice and the deer, I had a very good time entertaining you guys. Yeah, this ride home's going to